Right then, welcome back. Following on from yesterday, got the discs painted, so they've come out quite nice. There's one that I've unmasked, so it definitely looks smarter than it did. The other thing I've done today is pick up the wheels and tyres. So we've gone nice bronzy gold powder coating, and for the tyres we've gone 110 80 18s on the front, so that's slightly bigger than the original. And on the back we've gone for a 140 80 17, so again the originals were 130 90s or 100 90, gone slightly bigger just for a slightly fatter profile because I think it looks a bit better. So plan today, get the rear disc fitted, rear tyre or rear wheel and tyre fitted, get it sat on its own weight. I want to be able to move it back a little bit on the stand so I can start putting the front forks on. So I'm going to crack on with that. Okay then, first job, get this rear disc on. So like I say, nicely painted. We'll get a bit of thread lock onto the fitting nuts because we definitely don't want these coming loose. So let's get our disc in place, holes aligned. There we go. So there's our first one in. Second one. And these have got to be tightened to 21 Newton meters. Which this is already set to. Let's try and tighten them up evenly though. 1, 2. So that's that sorted. So next thing is going to be the wheel. Right then, time to get the wheel put on. So I've had to clean up the spline a little bit there. There's a little bit of powder coating on there which is making it a little bit awkward. Got our spacer. So hopefully this should just slide straight in. Perfect. So let's see if we can get a bolt in. It feels like it's biting. Rear wheel on. Awesome. Okay then, let's get those torqued up. We got our wrench set. So these are 110 Newton meters. Oh, I think I need a bit of an extension on that. Let's just wind these in a little bit. I must admit, I'm really pleased with the way they look. Right, let me get an extension. So I definitely don't want to damage these wheels. One, 2, 3, 4. Well, I think that's a job well done. Right then, today's job, hopefully, getting the forks in, getting this thing looking a bit more like a motorbike. So, yokes have been polished, seams have been taken off, along with the fork legs. So these should look quite smart once they're on. So let's see how we get on with these today. make sure we got them on the right sides. There's one in. That's a bit tougher than the first. Let's just put a little bit of oil on me. Actually, that's not a good idea. We don't want these slipping and sliding around. We'll just go with a bit of brute force. Or can we expand that a little bit? No, that's definitely a tight fit. Oh, it definitely came out of there. Hey, there we go. Well, that was a little bit of it. Oh, that was a bit of an effort to get that in, but they're not looking too bad. One thing I've realised is the grips that I bought for this, or the clip-ons, are slightly wide. My plan is to use a little bit of metal tape, widen these up a little bit, hopefully get those on as well. Maybe today. So here we go. Right, I've got the front wheel in place. However, I need to take the bike back a little bit in order to get that front spindle to line up, because I haven't got quite enough room. So that's my plan now, try and push the bike back as much as I can and see if we can get that axle to line up with the front wheel. So let's just hope this doesn't fall. Let's see if we can slide this back a little bit. I've made sure I'm in neutral, so that's not going to affect anything. Oh, we're getting there. How far off are we? Oh, a few inches. We're getting close to the back of this stand though. I actually think if I come down a little bit, that might be just about right. Let's just lower this a touch. Okay. Right, height, just got to go back a fraction more. That should do it easy. Right, let's strap this down again. Might come up just a touch. Right, it's not going anywhere. Let's see about assembling this front wheel now. Right, let's consult the book. Right then, that's the wheel in a better place. Both spacers are full of grease. I've made sure all the bearings are full of grease, both sides. As you can see, the axle's nice and clean. I made sure I polished all that up, so let's see if we can get it fitted. Right, then we've got the smaller spacer that goes on the right hand side. Hopefully the amount of grease I put on that should hold it in place. And our left hand spacer should hopefully do the same. Right. Got our axle. There's a hole in the axle. In the diagram it shows it as being vertical, so that's what I'm going to try and keep it as. Let's just see how close I am. Well, that's not bad. You should always tidy your bench. So why will that not go through there? Oh, okay. So it will go through. Let's get that spacer back in. Also, if we put it through there first. So, something doesn't seem quite right. Let's consult the book again. Right then, having consulted the manual, that was right. It just seemed like there was a big space on this side, but obviously the diameter of this side of the shaft is smaller than the other side. So that should take up the slack on this side. So I've just got to try and make sure I can get it all the way through now. Right. We're just struggling to get these lined up a little bit. So this side's in. Let's have a little look at the other side. So trying to support the wheel, get it in line, and push that through at the same time is harder than I thought. But I will prevail. Other than that, I'm going to use a hammer. There's got to be an easier way of doing this. So maybe if we lower the biker fraction. Let's see if that makes any difference. It's only fractional. Success! Right, maybe there was an excessive amount of grease. Let's wipe a bit of that out of the way. Well, at least it's in. So, I've got to go a little bit further. I'm just wondering if those are a little bit tight. Right then, spindle's in. We've got our spindle locking nut, or spindle bolt. So this is going to be done to 33 Newton meters. That's that done. Then we're going to do these bottom locking nuts as well. So let's find out what they are. Okay, we're looking at 14 Newton meters for those. So this torque wrench isn't going to do it. There we go, 14 Newton meters. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Just pinch them up evenly first. One. Right, let's get the other side done. One. And two. So let's see if we can raise the bike, see if this front wheel spins. Well, we're starting to get back to looking like a bike again. Pleased with that. Let's put that on the deck, just that it's touching. So, one thing I've figured out since fitting all this is my lovely little bracket that I made for my brake light. I've got to decide if, when I put some weight on there, is it going to catch the tyre? And I think it is, so that might have to be rethought. But it's one of those things, that's what it's about. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So that's it for today. Forks are on. Might look at putting the clip-ons on, but we'll see how we go. Thanks for joining me. Bye.